Man, it's been a crappy week for video games lately. It really has. I did not imagine when I woke up this morning I would have to make a video about Nintendo and their plans about NFTs again. I really haven't. It is currently 8:40 in the morning and I did not think I would have to get up this morning and make a video about how they're going to screw up the gaming industry again. The last time I really talked about Nintendo and their major screw ups was the first time was when they had their software update for the 12.03 for the Nintendo Switch, where they pretty much made their console unplayable for a whole week. Then they were forced to work on it on Father's Day. And then the next major screw up was when they had their online expansion pack, which is still a complete joke, even though they made improvements to it over time, but still, nobody cares about it it. And yet Nintendo is doing once again another no-no. Now you're probably wondering, well, Nightwing, what is this big no-no that you speak of? Well, I don't know if you heard me a minute ago, but they're considering doing NFTs, but there's a catch. Now, before I pull up the article for you guys, I do want to say the gaming industry has been trying to desperately shove these NFTs down our throats. And every single time that people have been hearing about this and seeing this, people have been instantly rejecting them, saying, no, screw off with your NFT bullcrap. We do not want this in our games. And pretty much the community is literally taking this NFT offer and shoving it back up the gaming industry's ass because nobody wants them. Not only are they bad for the environment, but they're a major scam and they're pointless JPEG images that nobody wants and they have no value and they're a marketing scam that steals art. It's just pointless in video games. So I'm gonna pull up the article for you guys. I'm gonna read it to you all, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it as we go along. If you want to read the article for yourself, I'll leave the link for it down in the description so you guys can go check it out. So this article came from Dexter.com. I'm going to read it to you, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions on it as we go along. Despite backlash from some gamers over the slow bleed of NFTs into gaming, brands and organizations in the space continue to find a way to desperately utilize the growing technology into their work, while Ubisoft was rated for claiming gamers don't understand NFTs after the announcement of Ubisoft Quartz and especially the organization of 100 Thieves launch their own free NFTs. There are still multiple questions over the practice, and there will be even more now. Okay, so I do want to address one thing here really quick before I continue on. Ubisoft is starting to become a complete joke, and they're trying to say gamers just don't get it. They don't understand what NFTs are good for. They don't know how amazing NFTs are. They need to understand how awesome these NFTs are, how good they are. Last time I checked Ubisoft, I don't think you understand how brain dead and stupid you are. I don't think you understand what the gaming community wants. I don't think you understand how horrible NFTs are for the environment and for video games. I don't think you understand what the word no means. No means we do not want these NFTs. No means we do not want any more bullcrap business practices. And no means we do not want any more horrible marketing bullcrap provided. And at this point, like, I've been considering just avoiding Ubisoft for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because Ubisoft has been having a bad track record lately since their whole NFT rave started. Like, I remember they made a video about some Ghost Recon Breakpoint worthless NFT item that was so bad. Their video was dislike bombed. It was taken down from YouTube. And then we got Square Enix opening up the new year saying, Happy New Year, everybody. By the way, we're doing NFTs. And then everyone got mad at Square Enix. But, dude, the fact that people are pushing back against this, it's a great sign. And it's amazing how people are pushing back against this because it's putting a lot of pressure on the gaming industry, telling them, no, we don't want this in our games. And yet, the gaming industry's ignoring their gamers' surprise because they don't care about us. They only care about making a quick buck because the gaming industry is just being a pain in the ass. And this is starting to get me a little bit riled up. Now, there's a tweet from David Gibson I would like to read you guys, someone who works at Nintendo, and then I'm going to finish reading the article after. And he has a Q&A about how do you think about NFTs and the metaverse and that stuff. And his answer was, we do have interest in this area. We feel the potential in this area, but we wonder what joy we can provide in this area, and it's difficult to define right now. Okay, I'm calling timeout here for a second. What joy are you gonna bring? There's no joy in any of this. What you're gonna bring is the exact opposite. You're gonna bring pain. You're gonna put bankruptcy into your company, and you tweeting about NFTs saying you're considering doing them, but you're wondering what joy would bring? There's no joy involved. What you're going to bring is disappointment and sadness, depression, bankruptcy, and hate. And an empty community that does not care. Not I just want to point this out as a bonus. I mean, I'll also leave this in the link in the description down below after this video, but Zach from the Switch Force has also covered this as well, and he's a fantastic guy on the internet. He does great work covering Nintendo stuff, but not even Zach from the Switch Force, the nicest guy that dedicates his life to Nintendo work, cannot defend this. He cannot defend this NFT nonsense. So again, I'll leave the link in the description below so you guys can also check out his video about it. He did a great job of covering some of this stuff as well. But back to the article once again. The idea of using NFTs to bring joy to their consumer base is perhaps the most Nintendo response possible, so it will be interesting to see how they choose to tackle the space they should make the move, especially considering backlash they get likely now and they will receive it later. It doesn't seem though NFTs are Nintendo's immediate plans, but don't surprise them to see them pop up in months or years to come. The fact that Nintendo is considering going along this NFT trend, and they will probably do it at some point down the line, and the fact that everyone is gonna hate Nintendo for this, dude, I hate to tell you, but Ubisoft, they got a lot of backlash and everyone hates them. Square Enix, they got a lot of backlash and everyone hates them. Team 17, they the company that works with Worms, the video game, they just released some NFTs and they got a lot of backlash and they're instantly reconsidering on doing NFTs. So, and now we got Nintendo, one of my favorite childhood companies that made one of my favorite games of all time, Mario. And now they're gonna consider doing NFTs. And yet, Nintendo is going to immediately get hated on here. Because once again, they're pulling another anti-consumer friendly move. Not just Nintendo, but the entire gaming industry is just pulling another anti-consumer friendly move that nobody likes because they're desperately trying to shove this down our throats. And it's good to hear and see that the gamers out there are shoving this NFT nonsense back up the gaming industry's asshole because again, nobody wants this in their games. It's a scam, it's awful, it's tedious, it's mind-numbingly painful, And I think it's safe to say that nobody wants this. And if there is, Nintendo and the gaming industry will immediately get some backlash. And I remember saying this in my previous video when I talked about NFTs too, when I said I would rather break my no Call of Duty policy and buy Call of Duty Vanguard just to play the crappy ass zombies. I think I would rather do that. And funny that I mentioned this because Vanguard is actually on sale right now for 35% off. So at this point, I might as well just consider buying Vanguard rather than getting NFTs. And I know I've given myself a no Call of Duty policy, but at this point, dude, I don't care at this point. I would rather break my no Call of Duty policy and play a completely broken game rather than buy an NFT. And if Nintendo's going down this route, then they're going to lose a big fan that they had since I was a child. So, Nintendo, don't do it. So, with that being said, thank you guys all for listening. And until next time, you guys, I'm warning Nintendo, and I'll see you all later.